Hello, everybody. Welcome to Money Making Monday. Yay. Come on in. Welcome. Okay, I'm so glad you joined me today. This is Money Making Monday, and we're going to talk about making money today. Now, before I get into this, I want to just make a small disclaimer. This is in no way promoting greed, okay? Many of you, I'm sure, have heard the expression, money is the root of all evil, which is actually incorrect. The love of money is the root of all evil. So what does that mean? That means when we put money above everything else, our family, our worship, whatever our responsibilities are, we could get into some trouble. But the Bible also says money is for a protection. So we have to have a balanced view. You need money to buy groceries. You need money for rent. You need money for gas in your car. You need money for all of the essentials in your life. And so we want to have a balance. This series is to help you increase your income if the need be. Okay? So let's jump right into it. We don't have a whole lot of time. So I have a question. Are you using your talents to make money or to supplement your income? Maybe you don't need a lot. Maybe you just need a little bit. A little will do just fine. What are your natural talents or your learned skills? Can you supplement, can you rather implement them to generate income? Steve Harvey calls them your God-given talents. Maybe you haven't tapped into what you really do naturally, is I'm sure what he means. Can you bake or cook? Some people I've learned, I have a cousin lives in California, pay a lot of money for prepped meals. So if you can cook, if you're a good cook, that may be something you want to look into. Even if you do it from your home, there is such a thing as the cottage law. It actually protects you when you are a home food preparer, baker, cook, and it allows you to legally sell certain non-potentially hazardous foods prepared in your home kitchen without needing a commercial kitchen or restaurant. It also provides a pathway for those who are starting small businesses, and you can avoid the cost and the complexities of traditional food production licensing. You just need to check the laws in your state. Okay? All right. Now, can you do hair? Do you love animals? Can you pet sit? Do you love to shop? Can you be a personal shopper? Do you have an eye for fashion? I'm going to tell you a story about what I did when I was in between jobs. Even as a teenager, I was into fashion. Before I knew how to sew on a sewing machine, I would redesign my clothes. I would cut things off, attach things to them, just using a thread and a needle. But when I was about 14 years old, my neighbor across the street invited me to a sewing class. And so I went with her to this sewing class, really enjoyed myself. But I only went one time, and I've got notes here because I don't want to leave out any of this good information for you guys, okay? My thought was if I could read and follow directions, I could sew. So at a very young age, I taught myself how to sew. I was self-taught. I then began to design my own clothing. I made some pretty incredible things. And later on in life, I was privileged to make my sister's wedding gown. Now, I have to tell you a little funny story about this wedding gown. My sister saw this designer gown in a bridal magazine. The dress back then was about $5,000. Her favorite color was peach. So I designed this gown with a peach underlay, with a lace overlay. And then I hand sewed pearls all over the bodice of this gown. The bottom portion of it was like a satin chiffon. It's kind of like satin fabric. And the funny part of this story was um, my mother didn't really think I was going to be able to pull this dress off, okay? So she had set aside money just in case she needed to buy my sister a wedding gown. So here it is. We've got the fitting. And they all come to my house. My sisters, my mom, my best friend was there. And she put this dress on. And there was nothing but tears in the room. It was so beautiful. I was hoping I could dig a photo up and show it to you guys tonight, but I couldn't. And so hey, maybe at another time. So this is what happened to me. Um, I got laid off, and it was in the fall of the year, and I went to the fabric store. And when I walked in, there was all this beautiful fabric. I mean, I was like a kid in a candy store. It was fall, and some of the gorgeous fabrics they had were fleece. They had designer fleece, Disney fleece, fleece with pet designs, sports fleece. I mean, you name it, they had it. And oh my goodness, it was so beautiful. So I bought some fabric, went home, and began to make the easiest thing you could ever make: pillows. Two pieces of fabric. I'm sorry, guys, I got a tickle. Two pieces of fabric sewn together and stuffed. And with fleece, they even have pillows where you don't even have to sew them. You slit the fabric all the way around and you tie two pieces of it together into a knot. And that is your closure. Okay? All right. So I'm going to show you some of the fabric that I have left over. Now, this is, I'm going to show you this. I actually made this for my grandson, and I have to restuff it. But this was at that time the Rams fabric. So you can see it was a huge pillow. And I'm going to restuff it. I'm going to send it to him. And he's going to be so shocked because he's not expecting it after all this time that I have had this fabric over here. Some of the other fabric, look at this beautiful pink. See why fleece? Look how pretty that is. And it's warm. When you put it on you, oh my goodness, it is so warm and so beautiful. I made pillows with these fabrics. I made blankets with these fabrics. As a matter of fact, I have a piece that I am contemplating. I think I'm going to go ahead and make a blanket with this. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Look at those colors. And with a blanket, all you need to do is turn the hem down all the way around and sew it down. Just make a hem. One huge piece of fabric with a hem. That's all a blanket is. If you want to make it doubly thick, you could put a piece of navy fabric on the back and sew it together. And that would make it heavy. But this is a nice heavy piece of fleece. Now, I made all these pillows. Let's get back to the story. And one of the local schools was having a fair. So I made my pillows, my designer pillows. I had Disney pillows, sports pillows, and I got a booth at this fair. Many people walked by. They oohed and awed and told me how beautiful they were. But I actually sold 4 of the pillows that day to one of the other vendors who had a booth. And then she ordered 4 more for her grandchildren. I'm telling you, I was on a roll. And I had so many custom orders. Let me tell you about one. Okay, one of my customers was purchasing a fabric uh, uh, pillow for a club owner. So she brought me about 20 bags that Royal, Crown Royal comes in. You know, the alcohol Crown Royal. They have these beautiful purple bags that they come in, and then they're trimmed in gold. And so I cut all these bags open and sewed them all together. That pillow was about like this. It was gorgeous. And then I put gold tassels on the corners of the pillow. He was so excited. Um, the next experience I had was a blanket. This woman was a co-worker of my sister's, and she had been battling cancer. And so I found this beautiful piece of like burgundy fleece, and then I hand sewed pink satin roses over the top of the blanket, and then around the corners I put a pink trim, and she was just ecstatic over that blanket. We're talking a flat piece of fabric, people, that's been hemmed, but it was so gorgeous. Um, I wanted to, okay, so let me get back to this other part. Um, now, so um, after a while, when I started to make these pillows, I was able to get some designer fabric. And this was at a time when the guys were custom designing their seats with designer fabric like Gucci and Louis Vuitton, Dior. I still have some of those fabrics. And so I began, let me show you. This is my Gucci. I still have some remnants of it left over. I actually have enough here to make a pillow, a pretty nice size one at that. I probably could get too many pillows out of this. What I would do with these is um, I would do the top in this fabric, and then I would do the backing in a chocolate brown suede. Let me show you a couple of the other ones. I had some of the pink Gucci I made pillows with, and I also had the let me show you the black and gray. I still have a pretty nice piece of this, and I think I still have more of it upstairs in my inventory. As you can see, this is a pretty big piece. But yeah, so I was making these designer pillows, and I sold a lot of them on eBay. Okay. But you can't use Gucci. You gotta say designer, because if you say Gucci, they're gonna probably shut you down. Okay. So now let me tell you about this one customer that I had on eBay. His eBay name was Pimpin' Ain't Easy, It's Fun. He bought so many pillows from me, the Gucci designer pillows for me, for his friend, for himself, and for his friends. Uh, so Pimpin', if you're listening, I want to thank you. Okay. So I just wanted to share that with you. If you have any kind of talents that you can use to produce income, and I am actually going to get back to my pillow making. And I have a little sheet here that I used to use, and I'm just going to show you really quickly some of the designs that I did. If you can see that. This is one of the Disney princess pillows that I did. This was the Cardinals when they were famous. Darius is actually my nephew. This is one of the smaller Rams pillows. This is one I did for breast cancer with the pink ribbons on it. And then, of course, the Gucci pillow. You can't see the edges of it too good. Here was a Spider-Man one, uh, SpongeBob, SquarePants or whatever. And then I had my little card, my business card up here. And my business was called Pillow Talk. Okay? All right. So you would be amazed at what you can do using talents. Even, you know what? I'm going to say this. You can learn a talent, okay? Whatever your heart desire is, you can learn it. But if you can sew, and this is kind of the emphasis of this particular video, if you can sew, I'm showing you how you can make income. I'm telling you. So whatever your talent is, don't sleep on it. Put it to use and use it to increase your income. Before I go, if you have a talent that you think you can make money with, I want you to put it in the comments. Just tell me what it is. I may be able to help you a little bit with it. And before I sign out, I want to tell you something else I did. Now, I'm a pretty good cook, and I'm a pretty good baker. I sold cakes, brownies, and cornbread, regular sweet cornbread and jalapeno cornbread on Etsy and eBay. Okay? All right. So, I'm signing out. I hope this was helpful. Leave me a comment. Let me know what skill you plan to use. And if you enjoyed this little story session about making money, subscribe to my channel. Alrighty? Okay, this is Cheryl. It is Money Making Monday, and I am out. You guys have a wonderful evening and make some money. Alrighty? Bye-bye.